Hi, Instagram. I never do videos, you know? But I feel very strongly on this topic, so I figured I'd do a fucking video. If you can't tell, this will be full of swears, Pollyanna, SFW. I'm getting really angry, just so you know. So, right now I'm talking about Larry Nassar. You've probably heard about him in the news lately. He was this MSU doctor. He was a doctor for gymnasts and athletes. And recently, he's gone on trial for allegations of sexual misconduct. Over 160 women and girls came forward with testimonies on how he molested, raped, just fucked their lives over. Some of these girls were as young as 6 years old. They were 6 years old. Let that sink in, please. And while it does, he's also been sentenced to prison for between, I've heard 40, I've heard 60 years. Neither of those are enough for child pornography, for having child pornography. And he's sentenced between 40 and 175 years for the sexual misconducts. Over 160 women and girls came forward on how he molested them. And he only pled guilty to 10? But that's still 10 girls whose lives he fucked over at his job. I have a lot I could say to this man if I ever talked to him. And I know there are going to be some people in jail waiting for him. I really hope they are. I am a Christian, and we are taught to be merciful, I know. I'm also a human being, and I know, not specifically firsthand, but I know, or I at least have an idea of how fucking awful this can be, and how much it just ruins your life, and how we're taught to be like God. We're taught to have mercy like God. There's some things that are just unforfucking-givable. Really. And if anything falls under that category, I'm pretty sure molesting 160 people fits. And these were in appointments. Girls came forward talking about how he put his hand inside of them for saying it's part of a procedure. He did it while their mothers were in the room. And let me bring up again, 6 years old. As young as 6. He was also a doctor for some Olympic contestants. Gabby Douglas is the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but think about that. Think about that impact. I mean, Gabby Douglas is just a well-known name, but think about the other 160 plus women whose lives because he couldn't control himself, they've had to spend months and years of their lives recovering from what he did to them. So yeah, if you ever wonder where I stand on stuff like this, and I'm just gonna put in that I do strive to be a good person, and I do strive to be like God. And I do but in that I want good in the world, you know? I want good in the world, and I want justice in the world. And I know this video is not, it's not going to be influential. It's not going to make its way anywhere, but I had to get it out somehow because I honestly, I can't remember the last time I felt this angry. I see his name or his face somewhere on the internet, and I'm on the internet a lot. And I just red hot. Like, my blood gets red hot. It boils. And I can't fathom it. I can't believe it. I can't believe that's not how a human being acts. I just can't. 160. One is awful. Raping or molesting one person is awful. He admitted to 10. He's been accused of over 160. Do you even know 160 people? Probably. Those people they're people. They're daughters and sisters and people. You know, they talk. I know there's a lot of talk in rape culture about how, oh, it's someone's daughter, yes, it's someone's daughter, it's someone's sister. They're also a person. They're a person. They did not deserve that. They just wanted to be gymnasts. They just wanted to do gymnastics and be gymnasts. And they just wanted to go to a doctor to see what's wrong, and instead he's fucking scarred them. This is happening way too often. And again, I'm not saying this because I know it'll have some kind of, or I think it'll have some kind of pull. But we voice our opinions and we voice our resistance. Way too many celebrities, and this hits close to home. I live within a mile of the MSU campus. This hits close to home. I mean, it shouldn't have to care about it. It should just be that you're a person and you recognize that other people are people. And not toys that you can just play with in your practice. What I want to know is, why were there no nurses or anyone else in the room with him? I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm blaming him. But isn't it supposed to be practiced where there's more than one person in the room? I could say some very explicit things right now, and if you follow me on Snapchat, you've heard them, or you've heard them. My main focus in life, with everything I do and everything I act, is love. I try to approach everyone I know and everyone I interact with and work with love, and spread love. And this is just hate. I know he's a person. He also molested over 160 girls. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And I know we're going to have more allegations like this coming along, because people are finally, they feel free, they feel safe enough to come forward about this stuff that's been just haunting them and just pressing down on them. And it's heartbreaking. It's going to be heartbreaking every single time. And I mean, as heartbreaking as it is for us to hear about it, you have to multiply that by 6 billion, and then you're in the victim's shoes, the survivors. I know some of them don't want to be referred to as victims. They're survivors' shoes. So I'm going to end this with a request. Not this, it doesn't, what he did or what any celebrity did does not have anything to do with you, but just as a thought, try to approach everything in your life with love and put yourself in other people's shoes. Again, this is not blaming anyone except Larry Nassar and Donald Trump and Bill Cosby. You know, everyone, all the celebrities. But I think if we as a rational people can rise above this and we voice our resistance to all the disgusting things that happen, we can make some kind of difference in people's lives. I love you all.